against Manual. That's
what they have to do against this Whitney Young team.
Get it down low to Rivas.
Yeah, with patience right there. Good percentage shot. And you call it points in the paint. And I'll tell you, their opportunity to win, that's what they're going to have to do.
Rivas, 18 points yesterday against Joliet. Yates firing a three. Clemens battling for the rebound, trying to chase it down in the corner. Saved it. Richardson got it. Out it goes Henry on the drive. He'll take the jumper off the glass, put back up and in. Here we go. There's Richardson.
Strictly a board possession opportunity. Shot's not as good, but you got the boards. You hit it 2 or 3 times. Results 2 points.
He had 16 rebounds yesterday, 11 on the offensive glass, and 4 putbacks of his own misses.
Well, that spells danger for Quincy if they allow that to take place here tonight. Except this morning, I should say.
Ryan Kelly.
Oh, man. Where am I?
Corey doesn't. It's Summers trying to get through a double team, and Clemens again. Gates has it.
Not a wise move on Summers' part. You try to split the zone, and that's where you have to have the patience. Now, the first possession, they had the patience. That time, Summers didn't have the patience, and he lost the ball.
Cordell Henry and Richardson for 3. Good strong effort off the glass by Corey Douglas. Douglas and Kevin Douglas are twins. There are 4 Douglases on this team, all related.
I predict this day to be a low-scoring game. At least their approach will start. Very patient, zone defense, not taking the quick shot like we've seen the previous teams.
Well, Quincy is the lowest-scoring team here in Peoria. They only average 56 points a game.
Well, if they have the patience of what they're doing right now to get the 2 points and create a foul situation, Whitney Young's in for a long morning. This is what Quincy has to do, I feel, to win this game. Now, once you get out front, and maybe if Whitney would take bad shots, then you get out on a break to rub it in. But right now, it's a low-scoring game, and if it's low-scoring, Quincy will win this game.
Clemens called for the first foul of the game. Henry knocks it out of the hands of Rivas and right to the Whitney Young bench. So Quincy will inbound the ball right sideline. Douglas to throw it in to Douglas. And Summers will fire a 3 from the corner, off the side, and Richardson took the loose ball off to Henry.
And personally, I don't think you can do that and beat Whitney Young, take those shots. Not Whitney Young. Then Whitney Young cannot afford to come down and turn the ball over like that. You got to get shots. You've got to get opportunities to hit the boards, because when you don't get shots, Richardson, all these guys, they do pound the boards.
Yvonne, what you got?
Well, you guys, Coach Wallace talked about before the game really spreading the offense out and handling their pressure on defense. Well, a college court is 50 feet wide and 94 inches long. A high school court is the same width, that is 50 and then 84 inches long. So they have a little more room to work with in the half court, so that can really help to spread out that young defense.
There's spread it out, regardless of maybe your dimensions. You spread it out, go show the patience, you'll be all right. Here's the instant replay, and a little push on that one, and not a good call to get out on the defense and get called for a foul.
Well, we are off to a low-scoring start. 2-2, 4:57 to go in the first.
Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television's coverage of the IHSA Basketball Championships are brought to you in part by Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. Pepsi, Generation Next. And by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
The Country Companies knows that starting a family is no small feat. So the least we could do is start giving you a break with mini rates on most minivans.
When it matters most, the country's behind you. Michael and the high-flying Bulls plan to drive the Raptors back into extinction. But it's a whole new world in Toronto, and the Raps are hungry.
Brady got fouled, and Scotty held him up.
Coverage starts in the game room tomorrow at 1:30 on Fox Sports Chicago.
Quincy and Whitney Young tied at 2 with 4:57 to go in the first. The telecast rights to this game have been granted to Fox Sports Chicago by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of the boys' IHSA championships are not permitted without the express written consent of Fox Sports Chicago and the IHSA.
Indeed. Said well, David.
Thank you, Norman.
All righty.
There's Luis Rivas, native of Puerto Rico. He was about as strong a player as you'll see at the high school level.
Quincy had a little half-court press, zone press, just a little pressure, nothing to steal the ball. They're back in the zone, 1-2-2. Design maybe to shoot out foul shots like that, and if you're not going to hit them. See, that's the part right there, Dave. Second shots.
Yep, second chance thanks to Richardson, and a third chance. No, he stripped of the ball underneath. And it's Quincy ball.
Got a foul. I do believe they called a foul.
Ryan Kelly falling out of bounds. Fouled by Corey Harris.
Good action all the way. Good strip. Boy, that's karate chop. Boom. Got all ball, though. Got it back up. That's the way to do it. I love little men to go after like that. Now you got a little pressure by Whitney Young. Get a little more up-tempo for them. You know, you press a little bit, maybe make them run it, but don't be smart enough to handle the ball and have patience.
There's Summers. Kelly on the drive. Sends it outside. Douglas dumps it off.
So the principles of how you break the zone, how you move the ball, Quincy's showing that right now. You get in shooting lane areas when you pass the ball. And if you don't have it, move it back out and run, you know, just do it all over again.
That was Douglas to Douglas, and it's 4-2 Quincy. Richardson playing out on the wing. Here's Gates. Up top, Henry. Holds it aloft. Gets it back to Richardson. Now Gates. He'll take a long jumper. Got it. Dennis Gates. Didn't do a lot offensively yesterday. 7 points. About 4 points below his average, but he didn't really need to.
Right. I think today he's going to need to, especially if Quincy stays in that zone. He's going to have to hit a couple of those shots, open it up, and get it done.
There's Summers.
He hurried too quickly for a game against Whitney Young. You need to hold that ball a little more than Quincy does.
You want to control the number of possessions that Young has.
Yes, you do. The only way you do it, you control it offensively yourself. You don't want Whitney Young to get that ball too often down the other end.
Young took care of that possession themselves with the travel.
That's a couple turnovers already for Whitney Young.
Well, not only is Quincy the lowest scoring team in the Elite Eight, but they only give up 45 points a game.
Well, that's because they hold the ball like this in low scoring. It's 5 rebounds per month in that area, but you've got to have patience.
15-footer no good by Kelly, sends it back out.
Now they got a good shot, Dave, and they took it and went right back out, and that's what they have to do. That's tough to me for a high school team to have that much discipline, so that's a tribute to the coaching.
Douglas, across it goes.
And Whitney Young's used to this. You know, the teams don't want to get in there and battle with them at times, so they're showing their patience also on the defense.
Summers from the corner.
That was a brilliant pass. That was absolutely a gorgeous, great pass. And no hesitation. He knew where his man was, and that's all because you know where the passing lanes and the shooting lanes will be for you when you run that offense.
The freshman for Young, Najib Eccles, checking in. Eccles, 6'6", 195-pound freshman, the only freshman on this Young squad. They're down 6-4 at the 2-minute mark, first quarter. Semifinal number 1. Yates had the open look there. Henry from straight on. And there's Eccles. Dumping it down low, Richardson.
Oh, that was a strong move. And once again, a second chance point. Long distance shot, didn't fall. Rebound, Richardson ends up with the 2 points in the paint.
Tied at 6.
10-second call, defense work. Now this is where Whitney can go out and pick up this game, get the tempo going with that pressure. And it seems that as the minutes tick by, they're starting to get more aggressive and extending that defense.
Owen Wallace 573 career victories in his 26 years as a head coach. Early shooting, 50% by Quincy, 33% by Young. Gates for three.
I'm telling you, they tune up and get that going. That will smell trouble for Quincy. You start bombing those outside shots, get him out of that zone.
They just brought it up to 40% with that.
And that was an NBA shot there, Dave. That was way out there. I mean, way out there.
Final minute, first quarter.
That was out on Main Street down here in Peoria.
Well, we saw Gates knock down one of those yesterday, a long three. Quincy content here to hold the ball and let the seconds wind down.
Have you ever seen so many family connections in basketball at all in the last couple of years?
Throughout this tournament.
I'm just not this tournament on college and just, I mean, it's overwhelming how many fathers, sons, brothers, twin brothers, uncles, nephews has just been associated with this tournament.
Quincy in particular, Kevin Douglas, you're watching right now, part of this Douglas dynasty.
That's that community connection. I like that. That tradition that goes on. You play.
Douglas, an air ball. Richardson, here's Henry one-on-one against Douglas. Two-on-one. Here comes Eccles. Missed it. Henry, the putback. With 1 second to go. And that'll do it for the first quarter. And the one in Peoria. In our first semifinal game, the Dolphins of Whitney Young scored the last 5 points of the first quarter, and they take a 5-point lead on Quincy.
I'll be right back.
Hate it when that happens.
And world peace.
It's made of 100% rubber. Weighs just over 5 ounces. Looks pretty harmless.
Blackhawk hockey. This season on Fox Sports Chicago.
When two people get married, everyone has the best of intentions.
I now pronounce you my man and wife.
But sometimes things don't turn out the way we planned. Things change, people change, and sometimes we need a fresh start. Divorce is serious and complicated, but it doesn't have to be so painful. At Kenny and Hurlbut, we understand the problems a couple can face when a relationship stops working. We'll help you through the legal process so that you can begin again. Your first visit is free, and there's no obligation. Kenny and Hurlbut, we're here to help.
We begin quarter number 2 here at Carver Arena in Peoria. In this AA semifinal, Whitney Young leads Quincy 11-6, and here's how Whitney Young ended the first quarter.
Good fast break possessions here and never stop. They keep running at the basket, and they are just dominating second chance points and shots, and that is something Quincy better correct if they're going to continue to be part of this ball game to try to win.
11-6. Long three by Gates again. Bounces up, tipped in by Richardson.
Coming in, saying these things, and then doing it with the talents like Richardson. It's going to be very difficult. That's why he's one of the best in the business.
13-6. They got it down low to Rivas. Missed it. Gates came up, got the rebound. Henry.
See the tempo changing a little bit, Dave.
Richardson spinning. And a rebound pulled down by Summers for Quincy. Yeah, it's picking up. Here's a steal, Henry. 15-footer, good.
Nice touch. Bring the burners up a notch. And that can spell danger for Quincy. And that's a very wise timeout.
20-second timeout taken by Warren Wallace. It comes at the 7:01 mark here in the second. We were tied at 6 with, what, a minute to go or thereabouts in the first quarter. And suddenly it's 15-6. And that's the thing about Young, their explosiveness.
No doubt about it. And they can make adjustments. The game goes along. You see what we have to do. You feel you out. It's like a boxing match. You come out, especially along the the comparisons of a tournament time and sudden death. Feel them out a little bit. You take a punch. You get back and say, all right, here's what we have to do. And certainly Quincy has found right now a situation where they're taking over. A little press, fast breaks, second chance points. Those things will kill you every time in a game of basketball.
9-0 run in 2 minutes and 4 seconds here for the Dolphins. They're up 15-6. They have scored 17 in each quarter here in Peoria prior to the first quarter.
Dave, Coach Wallace was talking about his team standing around. He wants them to attack the basket. And as you see, they've come out of that 20-second timeout a little more energized, moving the ball a little bit better, and really trying to look for those open shots.
That's a good point, because they were just a little passive in their offense. Right now, you got to be aggressive. Those second chance points again.
Richardson again. He now has 8. And it's an 11-0 run here by Whitney Young.
And his defense. Defense has made this game a difference for Whitney Young right now. They're aggressive. They're coming up with balls, creating fast breaks, steals like you see right here.
Numbers here for Young. Oh, look at that reverse by Richardson.
And in good hands to save that ball, because that pass wasn't exactly on target. But Richardson saved that and made a left-hand layup.
Leave it. Deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Whitney Young.
It's like a bowl of Wheaties they've eaten and they kicked in. And all of a sudden, boom, here we go.
Time release.
Oh, man.
Now here's Richardson.
The pass was a little straight, but he controlled it with good hands and reversed on the layup left-handed. Showed the versatility of this young man, this All-American. And I'm talking about a good person.
He's led them in scoring in 23 of their 29 games. There they go. Henry a breakaway.
I'm starting to see the heads hang a little bit on Quincy, and that could mean blowout if you're not careful. I mean blowout, because it's on the borderline of doing that right now. And that defense is relentless, and they are going after it.
Quincy has been outscored 10-0 in the second quarter. And they still can't find the basket. Richardson rebounds.
No, awesome. Then they have the patience. That's why this team's so good, so well coached. The patience they run, and the mainstay of the whole the approach to this game is defense. Let the offense come, and that's what's happened with this basketball team.
Odell Henry. Into the corner, Gates.
Now they're turning around and have Pixie's offensive. We got the lead. Now you go and play defense.
Well, there's one reason that Quincy hasn't scored here in the second quarter, though they've only had 3 shots.
Yeah, because of the steals and the takeaways and everything else. And that's why Yvonne had just mentioned that coach wanted them to go out and be a little more aggressive.
Gates.
Look at that patience.
Henry looks back at Coach Stanton.
And he says attack.
And Gates will attack with a 3. Fires for the rebound. Harris. Jump ball, and on the alternate possession, the ball will go over to the Blue Devils. We have a timeout, 4:27 to go until halftime. Whitney Young taking control over Quincy. You're watching IHSA AA basketball on Fox Sports Chicago.
The things that you hold close, we do too. Sharing your dreams and seeing you through. The bright tomorrow, human sorrow.
When life doesn't go as planned, it's well worth having peace of mind that people from the country companies bring. If your car is damaged and the cost of the repairs exceeds the cost of a new car, we'll replace it with a brand new one, same make and model.
Every day I need stuff for my business. Lucky for me, help is just around the corner. My local Granger. Motors, ladders, hard hats, even padlocks. You name it, they've got it. All the best brands, too. Need to keep your business running smoothly? Talk to Granger. They've got more ways to keep your business running right.
For maximum security, choose genuine master locks. They're tough under fire.
Budweiser presents Fight Time on Fox Sports Chicago.
Welcome back to Peoria. Whitney Young on a 15-0 run has taken a 21-6 lead on Quincy. Yvonne, what you got?
Hey, you guys, Cordell Henry has issued a challenge to George Stanton. He wants to play him after the senior season is over. Now, the senior is 5'9" and has a 42-inch vertical, but as you look at Stanton there, he has a pretty slight build, too. And David Anderson, who grew up with Stanton, said, hey, the old guy might be up there in age, but he used to be as quick or quicker than Henry is, and he can testify to that because he used to play with him all the time.
Apparently, I think he used to play for Chicago Teachers College, which is now Chicago State.
Yes.
And he was a pretty good player.
Right. Exactly. I remember that growing up. The IHSA, we called Chicago Teachers College. Slippery Rock Teachers College back in Pennsylvania.
Summers three-point try in and out and a foul called. Look at Quentin Richardson thus far in this game. 5 of 8 from the field. Yesterday, he was 14 of 18. He's almost got a double-double already, and we still have 4 minutes to go in the first half.
And a lot of that is one fast break. A lot of us putbacks right now in the offense. Not necessarily an offense directed to him at this point in time anyway.
In the meantime, Rivas and Summers have been held to a total of 4 points. Gates got 3 from the straight arm.
That was an awesome shot. Boom, top of the key, long distance.
Second trail of the game for the man they call the Sheriff. He has 8 points.
He's a new sheriff in town, huh?
24-6. And again, Quincy has not scored in this quarter. 3.5 to go. Douglas spins, out it goes. Kelly, an air ball. It was saved inbounds by Douglas. And here's Summers in the lane, short. Harris rebounds.
The physical presence of Whitney has got Quincy intimidated. Buffalo move, beautiful move.
Henry scoops it up. And then Richardson coming in. Came over the back of Rivas. Offensive rebound.
Now Henry wants to play who on the one-on-one afterwards? Is that what we were talking about? But that was a heck of a move there. Little hesitation, fake with that ball, and then misfortune of missing the layup, but avoided charge, I think, caused that. Then it was like more of a ticky-tack call on the back.
45, Marquise Wright has checked in for Young. Right, a 6'9" senior.
She's got to score somewhere around here. Just get the confidence.
There it is. Yeah. Douglas, it comes at the 2:58 mark.
Yeah, got to get that confidence back there.
They had missed 9 in a row prior to that field goal by Douglas.
And Quincy still stays in that zone. I don't know if they want to go man-to-man. At some point, I think they would be so outmanned if they did. Now, the zone is the right approach. Somewhere along the line, you're going to have to make adjustments.
It ended an 18-0 run by the Dolphins. Henry with it.
You know, the beauty of having great athletes that are controlled in an environment of discipline is just a great thing to watch. I just love it.
Gates open for another long 3. And
Smart play. Smart play.
Keeps it a lot, pulls it back out.
That's exactly what I mean. Most athletes are taking that and use their athletic ability. I'm going back to the hoop. Here's the patience, because the whole the outlook of the game is to wear them down defensively, make them play defense. And when you get second shots, if you don't have a putback that's there, you come out and you spread it out. You got a 24-8 lead, and that just frustrates the defense. And this is championship play right here we're talking about.
1.5 minutes to go, second quarter. Henry against Douglas. Shovels it out, and cross court it goes. Gates. One thing, Young is certainly used to playing with a lead.
Well, they know how to milk the lead, buddy. This is what it's all about right here. Then they know how to turn up the afterburners. When you're on top and you got a lot of approaches that seem to come at you, you know you have to handle all those things. And if nothing else, if they don't get a shot, if nothing else, they've taken off a couple minutes away from Quincy without any chance of getting back to what they have.
Quincy has been outscored 13-2 here in the second quarter.
And what they've done is used up a couple minutes with 43.6 seconds left in this quarter, drawing the foul. And that's a reach-in, frustrated foul from 30 feet away from the bucket. Somewhere you got to go out. Now it's 43.3, 46 seconds. And it's gone man-to-man on this out-of-bounds play. That being Quincy.
Over the line. Henry. Out of Gates. Look at that. Beautiful. Bounce. Beautiful. Performance for the dunk.
And that's team play. That's team play. Richardson just nice bounce pass. They forced Quincy into man-to-man. And let the athletic ability and the coaching strategy just take over.
Out of bounds. Almost brings it over.
And the reverse of that is showing a little frustration trying to come down and get a couple points. And I'm telling you, if I'm not mistaken, they've only scored 2 points this whole
that is correct.
Whole quarter.
Yep.
That's amazing. You get it out of the 8 minutes of this quarter, 2 of them, they just held the ball, Whitney Young, to not allow. You can't shoot when you don't have the ball. That's for sure.
5 seconds. Henry. Gates will take it. 3 seconds. Rivas rebounds, and that's going to do it for the first half. A suffocating performance by Whitney Young here in the second quarter. They outscore Quincy 15-2, and they open an 18-point lead. End of the half, 26-8. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Thanks, Dave. Coach Wallace, you guys showed a lot of patience that first quarter, but in the second quarter, Whitney Young just pulled up the defense.
Well, I think the key was the end of the first quarter. We didn't execute the play that we wanted, shot the ball too early. We went from just being a couple points down to a 4-point swing right there, and then we kind of lost a little heart, so we got to get that back at halftime.
Okay, I'm sure you'll talk to him about it. Thanks, Dave. Back to you.
All right, Yvonne, thank you. Young in front here, 26-8 over the Quincy Blue Devils here at halftime. Stay with us, Ann Werner from the March Madness Experience up next.
Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television's coverage of the IHSA Basketball Championships are brought to you in part by Ameritech. In a world of technology, people make the difference. And by the Chicago Sun-Times, the official newspaper of high school sports coverage. Daddy.
My daughter Angela's put me in an uncomfortable position with my co-workers. Where she works at Ameritech.
Instead of mailing separate bills like other phone companies, they're letting customers put local and long distance all on one bill.
Even Ameritech's cell phone and internet. Angela says people like having just one phone bill to pay.
As a bill payer, I can see a point. But as a bill carrier, I say the more mail, the better. I guess Angela can forget about ever getting her face on a stamp.
Welcome back. Now, making dough from scratch takes the right ingredients. Like the Sunday Sun-Times. It's chock full of good things. Ah, here it is. The Daily Dough Scratch and Win game card. For scratching, I find a spatula works best.
Look for your game card only in the Sunday Sun-Times. Then check your Daily Sun-Times for the winning numbers. You can win up to $5,000 every day.
Isn't that yummy?
Look for your game card only in the Sunday Sun-Times.
Tonight, the world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight. Let's just be friends. Tonight, there's only you tonight.
You're looking live inside the Peoria Civic Center, home of the March Madness Experience, where basketball fans are getting into a fever pitch here on the second and final day of the boys' state title games. Well, no doubt a lot of you look forward to opening up the paper in the morning and getting Taylor Bell's take on all the action here in the tournament in the Chicago Sun-Times. He's standing by with our Yvonne Simmons. Yvonne?
Thank you, Ann. As you mentioned, we do have Taylor Bell from Sun-Times, and you've seen a lot of basketball games. We're not talking about a dynasty here, but this Whitney Young team shows a lot of the dominance that Peoria Manual has.
Well,
there's no question this is right now, if they go on and win the tournament, they've got to be rated one of the best teams of all time, one of the 10, 15 best teams. I mean, the one thing that Whitney Young does that a lot of public league teams haven't done in the past, this team, as you saw in the second quarter, I mean, they can play any kind of game you want. Lauren Wallace, the Quincy coach, said we want to pack it in, we want to make them beat us from the outside. Well, Gates only had a couple of three-pointers. They were missing their outside shots, but what Richardson goes underneath, he gets about 3 or 4 offensive baskets. They can beat you then, and then late in the second quarter, they go to the half-court game. They can play any kind of game you want, and they can beat you any kind of way because they've got so many weapons, whether you're talking outside or inside. Very few teams have that kind of versatility, even though on top of the fact they have all that great talent and athleticism, but they do so many things. They're so disciplined that they can go half court, full court, they can trap, they do have great trap on defense, or they can run with you. They can do anything you want, and I think Quincy, of course, is finding that out, and they simply, well, they're 4 for 15 right now. I have them shooting. They had to shoot very well to stay in this game, and they're not doing that.
Well, now we'll go to the next game with Galesburg and Maine West. Maine West is really kind of a surprise that they're here. They're a good team, but Galesburg, they have 2 inside players that contend with.
Well, Maine West, I think, surprised everybody last night. They showed a lot of grit. They showed a lot of determination. Kevin Fry was just a monster last night. He outplayed Corey Maggette. Lucas Johnson showed a lot of guts. I mean, we knew those 2 kids were all stayers. But I think the other kids on the team, the other 4 or 5 kids came in and gave a great account of themselves and showed they were just had as much heart too. Unfortunately, now they spent themselves so much last night. You have to wonder how much they have left today. Galesburg obviously didn't have to exert themselves yesterday, and they've got 2 great players themselves in Range and Thompson, and I think you'd have to give Galesburg an edge because they played a tougher schedule all year than Maine West has.
Now, you've written a lot of stories, and we've talked about, have you seen so many teams that have brothers playing, twins playing, uncles in the stands, fathers, grandfathers? Have you seen so many stories?
Well, yeah, this is a great term. I mean, you mentioned, and you've got the Jason Wessels kid, the wonderful kid from Galesburg, and the Harringtons and so forth. You've got so many great stories and teams down here for the first time. I mean, Whitney Young trying to come back after last year, Maine West never having been here before. It's just, and Galesburg, which used to be here on a regular basis, and of course they've got Taylor Thiel, one of their fine players, who was the grandson of John Thiel, one of the great coaches in this state's history, who brought Galesburg here virtually year after year after year in the 50s and 60s. And of course, this is the first time they've been back to the Final Four since the 60s. So, you know, there's, as you say, every team virtually has a great story, and the wonderful thing is that every school sold all of their tickets. I mean, there were people running around in the hotels this morning. You got any tickets? You got any tickets? I mean, this is, you know, a real, added so much excitement to the tournament.
Well, Taylor, thanks a lot for joining us. As always, you know so much about it, and you've had a great time this weekend, you've said. Everybody stay with us. We'll have more from the March Madness experience in Peoria.
Things that you hold close, we do too. Sharing your dreams, seeing you through. Bright tomorrows, human sorrows. It's nice to know when it matters most, the country's behind you.
Life being what it is, ensure some peace of mind with safe and sound car insurance. It's affordable. It's for people just starting out on their own. And it's from the Country Company.
Your Lincoln dealers are offering incredible savings during the Lincoln Collection of Savings, an outstanding opportunity to discover the full line of luxury, like a lease of just $4.99 a month with just $4.99 down on the newly restyled Lincoln Continental. We'll even pay your first month's payment and get exceptional savings on the powerful Navigator, the all-new Town Car, and the exhilarating Mark 8. The Lincoln Collection of Savings, only through April 2nd at your Lincoln dealer. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
My mom is like this world-class worrier. If she calls and I can't get to the phone, she goes right into grandma mode. What happened? Where were you? She works at Ameritech, and she told me about this new Star 69 ID feature on my line. They redesigned it. So now when you dial Star 69, it tells you what number called, and then it gives you the option of returning the call. If it's Mom, I can call right back. But if it's somebody else, I can wait until I'm not busy. You know, like in 20 years.
now in the pros. Possibly more hoops legends being made this weekend here in Peoria. There's also plenty of action going on inside the Peoria Civic Center. This is the site of the March Madness experience. Welcome back to halftime, everyone. I'm Ann Warner. Right now at the half, Whitney Young leads Quincy 20-6. Young is dominating. We're going to have those first half highlights coming up. But later on today, Maine West and Galesburg, those two teams are getting ready for action right now. And they're going to be the next game. 6 o'clock, our special, half-hour special March Madness, followed by the consolation game, and then, of course, the title game, the championship game at 8:30. Coming up next, Ennett and Van Leer back with stats and highlights from the first half of Young and Quincy.
All bones connected to the neck bone. The neck bone's connected to the backbone. Oh, the backbone's connected to the crotch bone. Wrist bone's connected to the hand bone. The hand bone's connected to the toucan. That's how you slam it down. The hand bone's connected to the toucan. And that's how you slam it down.
This is not the Chicago Fire. The biggest stars of the MLS won't know what hit them as Chicago's newest home team looks to make history in a blaze of glory. It's the Fire Infusion, tonight at 6:30 on Fox Sports Chicago Plus.
Your Lincoln dealers are offering incredible savings during the Lincoln Collection of Savings, an outstanding opportunity to discover the full line of luxury, like a lease of just $4.99 a month with just $4.99 down on the newly restyled Lincoln Continental. We'll even pay your first month's payment and get exceptional savings on the powerful Navigator, the all-new Town Car, and the exhilarating Mark 8. The Lincoln Collection of Savings, only through April 2nd at your Lincoln dealer. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Welcome back. Now, making dough from scratch takes the right ingredients. Like the Sunday Sun-Times. It's chock full of good things. Ah, here it is. The Daily Dough Scratch and Win game card. For scratching, I find a spatula works best.
Look for your game card only in the Sunday Sun-Times. Then check your Daily Sun-Times for the winning numbers. You can win up to $5,000 every day.
Isn't that yummy?
Look for your game card only in the Sunday Sun-Times.
Heating up at Carver Arena. Meanwhile, thousands of fans are testing their skills here inside the Peoria Civic Center at the March Madness experience. And we're back at halftime of the Young Quincy game. Dave Ennett and Norm Van Leer are standing by to give us the highlights and stats from the first half. Gentlemen?
All right, thank you, Ann. Halftime at a very impressive first half, 26-8. Whitney Young leading Quincy here at the intermission. And right now, Whitney Young is on a 22-2 run. They were trailing 6-4 in this game. They held Quincy to just 2 points in the second quarter, Norm. They just took total control of the game. And, you know, the two guys we talked about at the top of the telecast, Luis Rivas and J.D. Summers, who combined for 37 points yesterday in the quarterfinal win over Joliet. They have teamed up today for just 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting in the first half.
Well, 2 of 8, it's not the greatest of shooting. It's a little below the 50% mark, but at the same time, it's the attempts that was taken away from them. You don't get points unless you get attempts. And I think the combination of the defense that Whitney Young is playing, along with the fact that they also have the patience, as Taylor Bell said it previously, they know how to hold the ball out and have the discipline. And I said this before, when you have great athletes and you have discipline to go with that and the desire to play this game, that is a beautiful thing to watch. And Whitney Young, to me, displays what basketball is all about.
Well, it's beautiful if you're Whitney Young. Not so beautiful if you're one of these Quincy Blue Devil fans.
Not at all.
Let's take a look at first half highlights between Whitney Young and Quincy, and we'll see early on. Actually, things started okay for Quincy. Here's Corey Douglas firing. That put them up 4-2.
And you know, Dave, they're not playing bad basketball, that is, Quincy. But there's down low to Richardson, and he just took over from the lowest point.
Now, this was the tiebreaker by Dennis Skaggs that broke that 6-6 tie, sent him on an 18-0 run.
And from that point, And Quincy just was not in the game. They're not playing bad basketball. And that broke the scoring spell they had, or absence of at that point.
That was the only basket for Quincy in the second quarter, but then the dunk by Clemens with the assist to Richardson. Our Ameritech first half stats: field goal shooting for Quincy in the first half, 27% to 46% for Young. And in the second quarter, Quincy 1 of 8, Young at 50%. Quincy has missed all 5 of its three-point shots. Young has only hit 2 of 10. Both of those belong to Gates. Young winning the battle on the boards. Look at second chance points, Norm. We talked about it at the top.
Yes, indeed. And that is the mark right there of setting the pace right now. And also the fact that I don't think they've shot free throws this first half.
Neither team has shot a free throw to this point in the game.
So that tells you they're not really banging you around that much by way of approaching shots and fouls, a combination of the two.
If you're Lauren Wallace, the coach of Quincy, what do you tell your team in the locker room when you run into a steamroller like this?
Well, he said something just before halftime: get some heart back in the game. They're not playing a bad game. It's just that Whitney Young is just dominating, because Quincy is not playing that bad of a ball game as you really approach it. They have lack of shots because Quincy's dominating, taking it. All you have to do is get the heart back in these young kids, which I think is one of the toughest things to do, get young people to keep that heart, keep that the confidence factor going, and that's what they have to do right there, because the writing's on the wall. Hey, coach, you can tell me anything. They're beating us up here and dominating the game, but if you get that back in there, you never know what can happen.
Well, both of these teams will be playing tonight, but only one of them will have a chance to play for the championship.
Yes.
We'll be back with the third quarter in just a moment.
The things that you hold close, we do too. Sharing your dreams and seeing you through the bright tomorrows, human sorrows. It's nice to know when it matters most, the country's behind you.
The high school championships go down to the wire on the next Schoolyard Jam. Peoria and the United Center are the sites for the madness of March. And the Jams, Brandon Thompson and Tara Moody, have your ticket to the best basketball and hockey action in the state. Meet superstar prepsters Quentin Richardson of Young, Corey Maggette of Fenwick, and Frankie Williams of Peoria Manual. Plus, flash back with this year's top 10 IHSA winter moments.
White Sox on fire. Visit our newly remodeled showroom for savings like never before. Take advantage of huge discounts today and come celebrate our new beginning of 67 years in business in St. Charles. Save thousands on every car, truck, or van. Choose from over 600 in stock. For a limited time only, get this brand new Windstar for only $219 a month, 36 months, or lease this new Contour GL, only $179 a month for 36 months. Join us for our grand opening event only at Zimmerman Ford in St. Charles.
As long as there have been drivers, there have been collisions. If you're in a collision, now or in the future, you may face medical expenses, lost income, and months of pain. Remember, you can protect your rights with experienced legal advice. Call Canning & Hurlbut. Your first visit is free, and there's no charge unless we settle or win your case. Canning & Hurlbut. We're here to help.
And welcome back. Third quarter about to get underway here at Carver Arena. Let's go to Avon with young coach George Stanton.
Thanks, Dave. Coach Stanton, you're really showing what kind of versatile team you are. You guys play inside out. You're showing patience, playing great defense. What do you tell kids in this situation at halftime?
Oh, well, I tell them to expect a change in their tempo, you know, and what the possibilities are, how the game may change, what the other team may do. And then I tell them about what we will do when that happens, if that does happen. So we prepare for the next step that a team might take. You know, I pride myself on having a versatile team. I've always tried to have that. It's always been my philosophy. You know, a lot of people don't like it, but that's my philosophy of the game, that you can't dictate how other teams play, so you have to be prepared to play any style. So our kids don't panic when the games get slow, and they don't panic when games go fast. So we're just going to adjust to what happens.
Okay, thank you. Again, good luck. Dave, back to you.
All right, Yvonne, thank you. And look at this. Fewest points in a quarter. Aurora West holds the Double-A record. But Rich Central, Peoria Richwoods, Rockford Guilford in '93, and now Quincy with 2 points in a quarter in the state tournament.
Well, it's so important that Quincy gets off to some type of offensive surge or start here. I think, you know, at least show that it can score. The confidence level definitely has to pick up if they're going to get back in this ball.
Young has made a habit of demolishing opponents. In fact, in the postseason, their average winning margin has been 74 to 48. I mean, talk about a killer instinct. But they missed their first shot of the third quarter.
And that's important. You know, you still, even though the lead's down, or what it is, 26 to 8, you got to have patience to take a good shot. Ryan Domain has played aggressive ball that you can display. That's why you're here. So don't think he's doing it for nothing.
In the lane. Count the basket for Corey Harris, his first points of the game.
Well, here's a replay on what's going on and the strength that is given. Good penetration pass against the zone. Pass off and the strength to get that ball up after being fouled like that is an awesome thing.
This is our first free throw of the game. It comes with 7:05 to go in the third, and it's good. So Corey Harris with his first 3 points of the game, and it is.
Remember, this is a team you're looking at Quincy to beat Manual by 20 points.
Coach Wallace was saying this week he kind of felt they didn't get the proper respect because they came in with the tournament with 5 losses, but 4 of those came at the hands of a couple of pretty formidable opponents in the Western Big Six.
You know, that happens quite a bit, Dave, in the world of sports, but at the same time, you know what you're about. You have your own confidence, and then more importantly, who cares what everybody else thinks about you? You like to have it, but you know what you're about.
0-4 against Galesburg, which of course will be playing in the next semifinal game. Only.
Well, they're just starting out right away with, and I mean Whitney Young, and they're out pressing, pushing it a little bit, keeping Quincy out of some type of system to get him back in this game.
Henry now with 8. Douglas tried to whip a pass ahead to Summers. Ryan Hintz, 44, back on for the Blue Devils. Kevin Douglas will inbound.
You know, they always say Blue Devils, Red Devils. Is there any other type of red devil that you ever heard?
I'm not sure that there is, Norm.
Blue Devil, Red Devil.
Summers for 3. Good. That's their first 3-point basket of the game.
And a good look. And the first open shot they've had in the quarter and plus, that when they did have an open shot, Dave, that they didn't have an air ball.
And at the other end, Richardson answers.
Wow. We wrap that net around here. You know, when we were in school, those nets like that were teams that like to run fast breaks. So we put those long nets up to keep having timeouts. Stop it. Get the net down. That was college days. Every little edge you can get there.
There's Hintz. Kevin Douglas with Rivas screening.
Starting to tune up.
Yep. Quincy starting to find that the ball does fit.
Yeah, it's in there. It's 24 by 18, isn't it?
It's supposed to be.
Ball's about 18 inches around. And that's the rim's 22.
Yvonne's got the dimensions. Yeah, Yvonne's got it. She explained that to us.
She's got all.
Harris shoots over Rivas.
Oh, tough shot. Put some elevation on that. A rainmaker, as we call those in the days. A Howard Porter type shot. The great Villanova All-American that played with the Bulls for a short period of time. It's going to be a 10-second call in a minute.
Corey Douglas, and it's stolen. Harris, 3-on-1.
Good hand.
And Douglas knocks it away.
And you know, it wasn't the execution. The idea was there for Whitney Young. The execution was not there. Therefore, good defense by Quincy with good hands.
4:38 to go, third quarter. George Stanton and his young Dolphins leading Quincy 36-13.
Your Lincoln dealers are offering incredible savings during the Lincoln Collection of Savings, an outstanding opportunity to discover the full line of luxury, like a lease of just $4.99 a month with just $4.99 down on the newly restyled Lincoln Continental. We'll even pay your first month's payment and get exceptional savings on the powerful Navigator, the all-new Town Car, and the exhilarating Mark 8. The Lincoln Collection of Savings, only through April 2nd at your Lincoln dealer. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
My Uncle Jack wears a beeper, like one of those doctors on TV. Anytime there's a flood or a disaster or something like that, Uncle Jack's the guy who beep. He works for Ameritech. So when people are like hiding in their basements from tornadoes, eating candy bars, he's 100 feet up in the air. Last winter when there was no snow here, they flew into a giant storm in Indiana at 2 in the morning. How cool is that?
We have more family stories for you here in Peoria. I'm with the Douglases now, but we have Brett, who's right next to me, and Brandon. They are twins, and they were in 95, they were seniors, and Corey and Kevin were freshmen on the 95 team that went to the Sweet 16. But they have a story for you because Kevin and Corey talked about them as seniors going there, but they said they were going to do you one better. You want to tell me the story?
Yeah, when we started off in 8th grade, we won state, and they got to 8th grade and they lost state. And they always said they'd probably won better than us. So our senior year, we took and went to Sweet 16, which we played Peoria Manual. They beat us by 11. And they said they'd probably get farther than we got. And we bet them, actually bet them a lot that they wouldn't get that far. And they apparently proved us wrong today.
But they wrote it down. Where'd they write it down in here?
On their bedroom floor, they got their wall on their bed. They got like 95, and then they have us, and then they have 98. They have them on there, and they have like a whole bunch of other teams they've beaten so far. And they have like teams they want to beat on there. It's pretty cool.
So what are you going to give them because they got you?
I don't know yet. We're still looking.
Okay, thanks very much. Getting back to you.
All right, thank you, Yvonne. The Douglas family
goes on and on.
Very well represented here. 15-footer by Clemens.
Well, you try to look for weakness in this Whitney Young team, and then not on this game. It's just very hard to find. This is why they're number 2 in the nation.
Douglas, Corey Douglas, now with 6, and it's 38-15.
Then you know you go in at halftime, you look for a letdown because of the lead, but I don't know if it's a letdown as much as Quincy's a little better, starting to hit shots to get to a confidence.
Kevin Douglas trying to save it. The young ball. Gates into Henry. Knocked away, out of bounds. It remains in Young's possession. And at what point, Norm, knowing that you're going to be, if this score holds up, playing for a championship game in a matter of hours, at what point? And I realize these are young men full of energy and all, but at what point do you go to your bench and feel confident enough to give these guys some rest so they can regroup for the title game?
Well, that's important. That's why I say to me it's such a tough task to come and play all day and then go for a championship. So a blowout certainly helps a team like Whitney Young. And you look around that fourth quarter to start maybe filtering guys in and out to go along with some of the guys. Maybe not a wholesale change, Dave, at once, but a guy here, a guy there, just to keep some type of, winning form intact. Because one of the biggest things is to do wholesale changes because you change the whole tempo immediately because of personnel on the floor.
Hey guys, George Stanton was talking about that yesterday. He said that Public League Championship was Sunday, if you remember. We had it on Fox Sports Chicago, and they haven't played since then, so he wanted to keep them in a little while. He thought they were rusty yesterday, so he might play them just a little more just to get them, in some sort of rhythm, although I think they're doing fine now, but they were doing fine yesterday, too.
Do they look rusty to you, Norm?
I've seen a bit of rust since I've seen this team.
Harris has all 9 of his points here in the third quarter, and it's 42-15.
And if there's any rust, it's well hidden behind the paint.
Corey Douglas. Out of bounds, last touch by Young.
And you're starting to see some substitutions right now, which is just started before. Here's a good bit of action with no call, actually, and not a bad no call situation. for their officials. And you know, you see a great officiated game when you don't notice the officials on the court. And let's face it, Whitney Young has something to do with that.
32 is Reginald Jones as Quentin Richardson goes out. Henry's out of the ball game. Eccles getting ready to check in. Marquise Wright is in there. Christopher Yates is in there now for Young. Here's a steal by Gates. One-on-one against Pitts and a dunk.
Oh. I think he got up in there more than what I've seen.
20-second timeout taken.
Boy, that was a nasty dunk.
Quentin Richardson loved this one. He's out there,
and there
chest bumping with Gates.
Look at that. That was some elevation. That was some elevation. I think he more than hurt himself here. He was just like, let me give you a little Whitney Young Wild, a little Showtime salute. But he was up in the air and he was moving on that one. That was absolutely nasty.
Gates now with 10. Dennis Gates, 6'4", 180-pound senior, who's expected to play his college basketball at the University of California. And here is Gates saluting Quentin Richardson.
I know he loved it. I'm not one that love to see that, this and that. You're playing hard because it could be very dangerous. And there's certain teams, that fast break layup would have been dangerous against certain teams because of the demeanor and way they approach the game. And I like this because of the respect that these teams have for each other down here in this state tournament.
29-point Young lead. Douglas bounces outside. Hintz spotting up for three. Too strong. Out of bounds to Quincy.
And it's back to that. We are showing such intimidation that I think they'll lose sight of what they have to do on the other end, that being Quincy. Because the minute when some dominance take over, Dave, then you see the air balls and things like that. And that's what means you're not concentrating on what you have to do. You're kind of in all the other team, just like we are.
What's really impressive about Young, forget the offensive fireworks, but the defense.
Oh, that's what's got in this league. Believe me, that's what's got the fast breaks.
And Quincy playing a little defense. Summers.
Nice shot. Nice defense.
Summers now with 7. And it looks like Reginald Jones of Young injured his hand.
It's very dislocated of what I see. It's really dislocated.
I'm sure that happened to you a few times.
Oh, well, you know, I tried to get a Boy Scout salute the other day. Got an honor with Joey Myers, Wayne Messmer, and I couldn't get my fingers together to do the salute. I had to actually push it because it had been broken so many times.
Michael Sankey in the ball game replacing Reginald Jones.
Boy, I'm just getting older.
That could be. Out it goes. Out it. Three-pointer by the freshman Eccles.
Don't miss a beat, I'm telling you. Did you say freshman?
Freshman. He is the only freshman on this team.
Oh, man.
We haven't had many fouls called. And this will be the first foul on Whitney Young here in the third quarter. 30-point lead for that man. And his Dolphins, Whitney Young, about to, barring something unforeseen, improve to 29-1 and get their chance to play for the championship. From the corner, Summers for three. He's heating up. J.D. Summers has 8 points in the third quarter.
There's some long-distance shots, too, Dave. There's some long-distance shots that they put. Coach is not stop coaching, and is still on his players to do the right thing. Is you see the ball movement, the open shot, Trey right there, and that was just a pretty nice shot with some good ball movement.
J.D. Summers, the guy that Lauren Wallace calls the best sophomore he has seen in the state of Illinois.
Strong statements.
But today, Summers, Rivas held to 12 points, and Summers has 10 of those. Rivas has 2 points and none since the first quarter. Here's Adam McKenna, 6-foot senior, and for Quincy. Kevin Douglas called for a second foul, and Christopher Yates, a 63% free throw shooter, missing. Young as a team, 70% from the line.
Oh, that's not bad as a team.
Today they're 67%, 2 out of 3. Here's McNett. Summers out on the right. 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, hearing the coaches yelling over here that the Whitney Young, when they say something, the response of their ball players, I mean, it's like, yes, sir, to the point of that they're right there doing it.
Rivas put it up, fouled by Clemens. Number 2 on Christopher Clemens.
It's one of the few second chance point opportunities that Quincy has gotten in this ball.
That was on Sankey. Correct that. They call it on Sankey, his second.
Sankey. Marcus Sankey.
And so Rivas, a 59% free throw shooter, will attempt Quincy's first free throw of the game. And he makes it. Quincy, a school with an enrollment of 2,200. Whitney Young has about 1,900. 4 seconds. Eccles at the buzzer. And the Dolphins of Whitney Young 8 minutes away from a trip to tonight's championship game. They're in total control in this semifinal. 50-21 over Quincy. Fourth quarter coming up.
Don't file your 1997 taxes. Instead, file your taxes with us. And in 30 minutes or less, you'll get your taxes prepared and a newer car, too. Just bring your W-2 form and all your tax papers, and Aurora Auto Sales will prepare your taxes, and you can get a refund advance to use towards a down payment on your newer car. Regardless of your past credit history, everyone is filing here and driving away today. Only at Aurora Auto Sales at Lake Street and Downers Place in downtown Aurora. Toll free 1-888-438-LEND.
Mr. Wilson, what's going on? I want my guitar back. Yeah, man, come on. I was ready to know where it's going, man. Awesome riff going on, man. Come on, man. Next time we're practicing at my house. Shut up, punk. You want to fight? You're not my friend anymore. Yeah, well, God, you're not in the band anymore.
Whitney Young leads Quincy 50-21 as we go to the fourth quarter. Winner of this game will go on to play the winner of the upcoming semifinal between Maine West and Galesburg. That's coming up within the hour. Tom Dorr, David Kaplan warming up in the bullpen. Then tonight our March Madness special at 6. A consolation game. Norm and I will be with you for that one, for the third place game. And then at 8:30, the title game. We will bring it all to you right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Now, three-pointer by Ryan Kelly gets Quincy going here in the fourth quarter.
Over here to this side, Daddy.
They're tuning up a little tad late. I don't think Whitney Young is the type of team that can or will allow a lead to disappear, but I've seen things happen in basketball that's unbelievable, even against the great ones. But you have to just keep playing hard.
There's Eccles. Yates getting set to check back in. Sankey dishes outside. Yates in the corner. He finds Clemens.
Good touch. Good ball movement, good patience, Whitney Young's part, and also some very good hustle on the part of Quincy playing the defense.
52-24. Net sends it outside. Hints for three. Oh, they are heating up.
They're heating up. You know, they got here on some type of positive note. I mean, one shooting, playing a little defense. So, like I said, you beat Manuel by 20. You had something going on.
Take your time, Yates.
Yates, you can hear the coaches telling Yates to take his time. He gets it to Sankey.
This Whitney Young team, they get in passing lanes, shooting lanes, scoring lanes as well as any team I've seen in this tournament. That means when you pass the ball, you play in the zone, you got to slide into areas where you can do something with it. And they're very aggressive on the offense when they approach the game from a defensive point of view in zones.
There's Yates, the crossover. Sankey cut it to Clemens. And out in the corner, rounded out by Yates.
Reach in foul.
Foul called. Marquise Wright.
Marquise.
Here comes Quentin Richardson. We get a few more minutes here in the fourth quarter. Limber up a little more. 13 points, 10 rebounds.
And give it like 2 or 3 minute spell here, and then probably rest the guys for tonight's championship play. Let some disastrous thing happen or total collapse, which I doubt.
They still have a fairly healthy lead, 25 points with 5:44 to go.
You know, it's not really the lead as much as it is the time. As Yvonne put the absence of playing from last week's Public League Championship. And you get the legs in front of you, get the confidence factor, which they really need that.
On three, an air ball taken by Adam McNett and rebounded by Young.
Quincy is showing me a bit of confusion on one thing. They either look so sweet shooting jumpers or total air balls. I haven't seen so many air balls or the opposite of just beautiful long shots for nothing but net.
Gates to Henry.
And here's a good possibility, too, that we get in and rehearse holding the ball. Maybe not getting points, but here's where you can practice. We don't need a good shot. We can milk the clock, and let's see how we work with it. And they took off $1.5 million basically on this that possession.
And then Clemens knocked down the jumper. He has 8 points.
And that's such a valuable situation for you to have control of. When you have a lead, to milk the clock, passing the ball, pressure.
Pass by McNett too far for the leaping Tyler Tomlinson. And with 4:21 to go in the fourth quarter, we have a timeout on the floor. Whitney Young leads Quincy 54-27.
My mom is like this world-class warrior. If she calls and I can't get to the phone, she goes right into grandma mode. What happened? Where were you? She works at Ameritech, and she told me about this new Star 69 ID feature on my line. They redesigned it. So now when you dial Star 69, it tells you what number called, and then it gives you the option of returning the call. If it's mom, I can call right back. But if it's somebody else, I can wait until I'm not busy. You know, like in 20 years.
My last year, I made it to the city championship. It was great, just going through the whole situation, playing here, playing there, different high schools, and, you know, in the playoffs, you do or die. You got to do your best. It was always about being tough and having confidence. I don't have no mercy on you. I'm not scared of you. You knock me down, I'm going to get back up. Have confidence, and don't back down.
Coach Stan from Whitney Young's wife. He's about 4 minutes minutes away from realizing his dream and getting into that state game. Has he talked to you at all about how special his team is?
Oh, yeah, he talks about it all the time. He's been talking about it since last year, this time when we came down and they lost in the first round to Peoria Emmanuel. He said not to worry because he knew they would be back this year. He's worked very hard to have a real basketball program at Whitney Young, not just to have a super team, but he has the program concept in mind. He doesn't see that he just has a freshman team, a cross-top team, and a varsity team. He has a complete program. And he's worked hard with all of the guys for the 11 years he's been there, and with this particular varsity team for the last 4 years, he's had confidence in them from the very beginning.
Now, you've been sitting in the stands for those 11 years. Can you wait for him to just come home every day and go to practice, you know, a little bit stressed, watching the tape? What is he going to do, and what are you guys going to do together now that you have that time?
Well, that's the funny thing. People keep saying, now he's going to be home more. I don't think so. George has a lot of things that he likes to do. One especially is play golf, and he's very good at it. And so I know he's going to spend a lot more time playing golf, traveling with his golf buddies that have been leaving him behind during the winter season when he's had to have practice in the game. So I know that's going to take up a lot of his time. We used to bowl. That's how we met. He'll probably go back to bowling. And if he gets into administration the way he wants to, I know that will have a lot more. That will mean he'll have a lot more to do in terms of his job as well.
Well, you have a great husband. He has a great demeanor, and he works really well with his kids. Congratulations on his 11 seasons, and hopefully tonight, we'll finish that off. Okay? Thank you. Dave, Norm, back to you.
All right, Yvonne. You know, that itinerary doesn't sound half bad.
I love that.
I kind of like the sound of that.
This is, you know, this is a good place. Look at that shot.
Marquise Wright, missing rebound by Tyler Tomlinson.
And I don't mind saying it, we need more people like George standing around here in this world, because what he does with youth, his whole outlook on what it's supposed to be about. For instance, in the starting lineups, today, one of his young men went out and didn't shake hands with the other. He told him, get back out there and shake his hand. These are the things you need to learn when you're young. Let's see what it's all about. As you see this drive right here, good block, I thought, but they got a foul out of it. That's the way we go. We get back to George. I've known him a long time, and you need men in the administration like that. If I'm throwing out signals of what it's supposed to be about, then so be it, because this is exactly what we need, people like this young man.
Tyler Tomlinson, 6-foot junior, makes both the free throws. And it's 54-29, and a quick foul committed by Quincy, and it's committed by Adam McNabb.
Well, that's certain things you're going to have to do is commit fouls right now, and it's just one of those things right now. I'd be bringing in wholesale changes, foul, get back out, and try to get back in this game, which is going to be very difficult. Very difficult.
You know, it's interesting, you mentioned the pregame introductions yesterday. The young players, in some of this, sometimes you're not familiar with the protocol or what's proper in what situation. Some of the Elgin players came to the midcourt circle for the handshake, and the young players were staying to themselves, and they just, for whatever reason, they corrected that today. Today they did go over and shake the hands of the Quincy players.
I don't think they really knew the agenda.
Yeah, you don't always know the protocol. 2-on-1 and Eccles finishes.
Because they tell you to do certain things. You're pumped up ready for the game at that young age. Hey, we want you to do this because of the camera, the teamwork, and that's what takes place. But this team knew what they were doing, and once again, Coach Stanton, hey, you get out there and shake hands.
3 by Hintz, rebounded. And a quick foul on the rebound attempt. Jason Parker.
Yeah. You know, we were talking before, and I was getting belaboring to George, but watch this layup here. Little fake, boom, you know, in there, layup. Echoes freshman. You tell me he's a freshman?
He is the only freshman on this team, but
is this scary?
You know, even though they are losing Richardson and Gates and Henry, they're still going to have good players next year. Freshman, see that? Blocked from behind by Andy Douglas. Douglas, one of the 4 Douglases on this Quincy roster.
You know, Dave, I just had a chocolate chip cookie during the break. It was outstanding.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Can I offer you one?
No, thank you. Eccles at the line. It's good.
I feel bad that I eat alone. Yeah, I feel ashamed of myself.
Well, you should. Eccles, another free throw coming.
Oh, it's awfully good. My buddy Dan Jiggins would say, it's awfully good. Oh, man.
Douglas over to Ryan Hintz. Ball kicked. And it'll be Quincy ball out near midcourt with 1:28 to go. Young has dominated from the final minute of the first quarter. They've taken control of this game. Fade away by Douglas. Rebounded by Wright.
Could be
traveling.
That was being a little cool. Didn't know anyone was there. What was I going to do? You could see the shot and the release, but out. It's not the foul. It's called steps. But that's what it's all about. And once again, Quincy's not stopped playing ball. They're still hustling.
And Lauren Wallace has cleared his bench now, giving his backup some playing time here in this state semifinal. Maine West and Galesburg getting set to go at it.
That was a nice pass, a nice play right there. Nice little penetration. Nice bounce pass. And you got to live.
Peter Bond, a 6'5" junior, scoring for Quincy. Quincy's going to bring a lot of guys back next year. They have 5 juniors, 4 sophomores on their roster, along with their 6 seniors. And Rivas is a senior, but Summers is only a sophomore. And Lavelle Walsham hits the 3 for Young.
It's showtime now for Whitney. It's been that way a while. As Lavelle showed a little dance step after hitting that tray.
That was only his second three-pointer of the year.
That's why he's dancing. So I said, get into territory a little bit, be familiar with it. He's got a nice reaction. Yep. And I guarantee you, the bench loved it. George Stanton's going to stand for that too often. But right now it's just fun. Kids are getting involved in the fun among themselves, not taunting another ball player, which is what it's not supposed to be about.
Well, Bond again, 4 points for Bond.
Yeah, Bond, I like what he's done when he's come in the game and a little turnaround.
And as Jake Moore drives, foul is called. There is our Lincoln Mercury player of the game, Quentin Richardson. 13 points today for Richardson, a double-double. And Richardson will lead the Dolphins into the championship game this evening. Since 1980, the Public League has gotten 6 teams to the championship game. 5 of them have won. Last to do it, King in 93. And Young will try to become the 6th in 7 tries. Whitney Young is going to the title game tonight to play the winner of the Maine West Galesburg semifinal. Dolphins have been on a mission this year. They've talked about it. The Public League was only 1 step for them, and now they've managed to get to within striking distance with a resounding victory, 62-34 over the Blue Devils of Quincy. And so after losing to Peoria Manual last year in the quarterfinals to complete a 28-1 season, Young improves to 29-1, and they'll play for the title tonight against either Maine West or Galesburg. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Coach Stanton, yesterday you talked about your team being rusty after they won that game. This game, you inserted your starters back in the lineup in the 4th quarter. Do you see something that you want to improve on?
Yeah, well, you know, I like to keep them active, keep their minds active. You get lazy, you know, that's how you get beat.
Much is said and written about in Quentin Richardson, but you really have a team concept going here. Can you talk about the team as a whole?
Well, we've always had a team concept. Anybody that knows me know I believe in team. And, you know, we don't really run our whole game to Quentin Richardson. If we did, he probably would average 40 points, 50 or something like that. But he he understands what the game is all about, and he understands it doesn't matter who scores, but that we score. We try to get everybody involved in offense and defense. We know that everybody have different skills and different things they can bring, and we try to put them in a position where they all can be helpful.
You're one game away from really realizing your dream. 11 years, you're about to retire, of possibly winning a state championship. High school is all about emotions. You're playing with young kids. How do you prepare this team for the next game?
Well, I don't think we have to do a lot of preparing them. They're going to be ready. I mean, that's what they've been playing for since they've been here. And they're reaching it, so now they just have to go out and perform. They know they got to perform.
Thank you very much. Fun 2 games for you to watch. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks a lot. Didn't quite hear me, but you know what? He doesn't have to worry about me. He's got a game to play tonight, Dave. Back to you.
That's right, and I'm sure he is looking forward to tonight as well. A convincing win here for Whitney Young over Quincy. We'll come back. We'll take a look at the final stats in this one. George Stanton and the Dolphins go on to the championship game after eliminating Quincy in the semis, 62-34.
Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television's coverage of the IHSA Basketball Championships are brought to you in part by Pepsi, Generation Next, Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Country Companies knows that starting a family is no small feat. So the least we could do is start giving you a break with mini rates on most minivans.
When it matters most, the country's behind you.
Your Lincoln dealers are offering incredible savings during the Lincoln Collection of Savings, an outstanding opportunity to discover the full line of luxury, like a lease of just $4.99 a month with just $4.99 down on the newly restyled Lincoln Continental. We'll even pay your first month's payment and get exceptional savings on the powerful Navigator, the all-new Town Car, and the exhilarating Mark 8. The Lincoln Collection of Savings, only through April 2nd at your Lincoln dealer. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
And welcome back to Peoria. Our first semifinal complete. The Dolphins of Whitney Young, ranked #1, defeat the Quincy Blue Devils 62-34. So as we take a look at the brackets, Whitney Young into the championship game against either Maine West or third-ranked Galesburg, and the winner of that contest, which is coming up shortly, will play for the title, and the winner tonight will reign as AA champion. And a very impressive performance by Whitney Young, and they have the advantage, Norm. I would think it's an advantage. You know, the two schools have thought on this, but they can go back, get some rest for a while. They'll also be sitting around and thinking about the championship game for a while. Somehow, I don't sense that's going to bother them a whole lot.
Well, no, I don't think so either. But I'd rather be sitting around thinking about it at this point, being in it and ready to go, than any other situation. And they were so awesome today that the only thing I feel that you have to fight and worry about is overconfidence. And when you have a coach such as Stanton, I don't think that's going to take place. You'll keep him busy. He'll be ready to go because you fought so hard to get to this point. Now it's time to take care of business.
I wouldn't think overconfidence is going to be a problem for him at all. Not at this point. Let's take a look at our Pepsi play of the game and end-to-end action here. First of all, on the defensive end for Young. Dennis Gates doing this all by himself. Gates with a thunderous one-handed dunk. That's our Pepsi play of the game. So that's going to wrap up our coverage of semifinal #1. Tom Dorr and David Kaplan are standing by for the next semifinal game featuring Galesburg and Maine West. Remember, Fox Sports Chicago will begin tonight's championship session with with a special IHSA March Madness show at 6. Then at 6:30, it's the consolation final, followed by the Boys AA Championship final at 8:30, live tonight here on Fox Sports Chicago. For Yvonne Simmons, Norm Van Leer, and our entire trio video crew, I'm Dave Bennett saying so long for now. Once again, our final score, the Young 62, Quincy 34. Now, March Madness continues. Thank you. We'll stay with you for the coverage of the three-point contest now. And this should be fun. We've got our finalists in the Class AA Country Company's three-point showdown. We have 4 finalists who will shoot out here for the title. Jacob Miller from Civic Memorial, Eric Schmidt from Maine South in Park Ridge, Mike Wheel from Schaumburg, and Adam Wietmeyer from Freeport High School. So they have battled their way to this championship round. So, Norm, this should be kind of fun.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's what it's all about. The ads, the programming and fun, the events that take place not only in the exhibition hall here, besides the Carver Arena, but all these things. This is what it's all about.
This is Jacob Miller from Civic Memorial.
Oh, he has missed.
He is on target.
Oh, yeah. Like Steve Kerr out there. Boy, look at that. He is on fire.
Finally missed that one. Now from the left.
Well, if he has a weak point, it's the left side of the key.
Evidently.
It's left side of the key. That's what that's all about there.
So Jacob Miller.
He had eight points in that one.
All right, so Miller with 8. And now stepping up from Park Ridge, Maine South will be Eric Schmidt.
Eric Schmidt.
Okay, he's made 1. 2.
Gotta get going. Get a little speed in the game. You gotta catch up with
from up top. 3. Has 4.
You know, I always talk about who has the advantage, a jump shooter or someone who shoots a push shot. I think the push shot, just like a just regular set shot, because you don't use your legs as much. Jump shooters have a tendency to get a little tired towards the end of their three-point shooting. Of course, most people tell me this area, Norm, what are you talking about? You didn't shoot out there.
6 for Eric Schmidt.
You know.
And now Mike Wheel from Schaumburg will be the 3rd contestant. The leader, Jacob Miller, has 8.
Jacob had that little push shot. That's what I was talking about. He got going. Reminds me of Eric Collins. Eric had a heck of a shot from Cleveland.
How about this? Wheel. 4 for 4.
Softball.
Nonchalant. Now from straight on.
Oh, a nice little stroke with that. In and out.
6, 7. 1 more for the tie. Now 1 more for the lead.
Yes.
Got it. Insurance.
1 more. Ooh.
In and out.
Oh, he's got 10.
So Mike Wheel from Schaumburg, the leader with 10, dropping Jacob Miller into 2nd. Now Adam Wietmeyer from Freeport.
10 points for Mike Wheel of
Will be our
Freeport
final contestant.
From Freeport High School. Adam Wietmeyer.
Wietmeyer wearing the Freeport orange.
That little hop he has before he takes the shot. Boy, he's on fire. He's got nice rhythm.
Needs 6 more. Now the pressure's on. Needs 5 more. Got 6.
Well, he's about
7.
there. He's got to continue to beat
20
here.
seconds on the clock.
He's there. He's there. He's there.
9. One more for the tie.
Come on, come on, get in there. Boom. Tie.
There's the tie for the win. Got it.
Count it.
Yeah, Adam Meatmeyer, a three-point. What shooting! And he wins the Class AA Boys Country Company's three-point showdown. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back with more from Peoria. There's your three-point champ, Adam Meatmeyer. More coming up.
Country Companies knows that starting a family is no small feat. So the least we could do is start giving you a break with mini rates on most minivans.
When it matters most, the country's behind you.
What if I told you you bet on this horse to finish first? Now, what if I told you you bet on this horse to finish second? If that's the way they come in, a $2 bet will pay $248. Now, what if I told you you bet 20? Stuff like this happens every couple of minutes at Off-Track Betting, where smart guys finish first.
Safety and prevention. It's not a glamorous part of the insurance business at all. Nobody really sees us as heroes. The fire that doesn't start, or the break-in that doesn't happen. See, our success doesn't make news, but we know we're making a difference, and we'll keep at it.
Welcome back to the March Madness Experience, and you know what? It's already time to crown our first champion of the weekend. It is the champion of the three-point shootout, and he is standing by at Carver Arena with Yvonne Simmons. Yvonne?
Thanks, Ann. We have Adam Meatmeyer here, who just won the three-point shootout. In the middle rack, you had 6 balls left. Did you know where you were at, or you just were concentrating on knocking them down?
Just concentrating on knocking them down. I didn't know where it was or how many I made, so just tried to make as many as I could.
Now, you doubled your three-point attempts and also makes during the season. Is there any particular reason why?
I think my sophomore year helped me get some confidence towards the end of the year. Then my junior year, I was able to step up more for our team and got some more opportunities.
Well, the three-point shot has changed the game of basketball. Can you tell what you worked on for those kids that want to be a three-point specialist?
Just go out with your dad or your mom or any friends. Just shoot as much as you can. Just practice as hard as you can and as much as you can.
Okay, congratulations. Have fun with that trophy. And back to you.
Thank you, Yvonne, and congratulations to our three-point shootout champion. A lot of little basketball fans are practicing their three-point shots here at the March Madness Experience. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more from the Peoria Civic Center.
Tonight, the world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight, let's just be friends. Tonight, there's only you tonight.
Daddy.
See the thing? My daughter Angela's put me in an uncomfortable position with my co-workers. Where she works at Ameritech, instead of mailing separate bills like other phone companies, they're letting customers put local and long distance all on one bill. Even Ameritech's cell phone and internet. Angela says people like having just one phone bill to pay. As a bill payer, I can see a point. But as a bill carrier, I say the more mail, the better. I guess Angela can forget about ever getting her face on a stamp.
Your Lincoln dealers are offering incredible savings during the Lincoln Collection of Savings, an outstanding opportunity to discover the full line of luxury, like a lease of just $4.99 a month with just $4.99 down on the newly restyled Lincoln Continental. We'll even pay your first month's payment and get exceptional savings on the powerful Navigator, the all-new Town Car, and the exhilarating Mark 8. The Lincoln Collection of Savings, only through April 2nd at your Lincoln dealer. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
He's large, he's orange, he's got so much attitude, they named him Attitude. Welcome back to the March Madness Experience. I'm Ann Warner, and joining me is Mike Holsworth, the general manager of the Catherine Bike Candy Company. And Mike, your company is the sponsor of Attitude. Give us a little background. When was this mascot created, and what's its purpose?
That Attitude's catching on, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, we got together with the IHSA basically to develop a program to bring home the message of how important sportsmanship is. With all the other attributes that sports brings to our young people, somehow sportsmanship has been put in the background. We got to get it back out to the forefront once again.
And you are doing this also through sales of candy bars. Explain that a bit.
Yeah, we've developed the candy bar exclusively around the Attitude logo. This is sold only in schools in Illinois, and a part of the proceeds go to funding the Sport of Winning Attitude program, as well as developing the materials we need to, again, get the message home that sportsmanship is important with our young people.
So what's Attitude been doing this weekend?
Well, Attitude's been all over the place, as you can see. He's been on the court, introducing the players, as well as kibitzing in here to make sure that our young people have something they could readily identify with to bring home the point that, yes, sportsmanship is very, very important.
And aside from this weekend in Peoria, where else could fans run into?
Well, I'll tell you, you can see Attitude in any major high school athletic event in the state. He'll be there, be it football, baseball, wrestling, you name it. And then additionally, we're going to work him in so it's not just sports related, but it also ties in with the academic side of schools as well. Sportsmanship is important, period. Not just on the court, but off the court as well.
I would imagine that it's quite a big hit with the younger kids, I might think.
Very big hit with the younger kids. And thank God that it is, because we need to be reinforcing with our young people the importance of sportsmanship so they can carry that with them throughout their young adult life.
And let's be honest, I have tried the candy bars this afternoon. They're great. So that's an added bonus, too.
They're
when
outstanding.
You're talking about Attitude.
They're outstanding.
All right. Well, can you give us a little background? I don't know if you can reveal the identity, but who's inside that?
Well, I can only give the first names. You wouldn't want to go any further than that. But Nicole and Mike are the two people. They belong or work with the IHSA, and they're responsible for all the antics you see from the big orange Attitude mascot.
All right. Mike Holsworth, the general manager of the Catherine Bike Company, thanks for joining us and getting us up to date on Attitude.
Thank you, Ann.
It'll be quite a big hit. And stay with us. We're going to have more live from Peoria. Up next, Maine West versus Galesburg in the